There's an upcoming deadline that could impact your Social Security benefits, and surprisingly, most people don't even know it's there. Missing this date won't make you lose your benefits entirely, but it can cause major delays in getting money that's already meant to be yours. It's called the annual verification cutoff, and knowing how it works could completely change how you manage your Social Security information from now on. Right now, the Social Security Administration has locked in a cost of living adjustment for next year. This means nearly 71 million people are going to see their monthly payments increase starting in January. For the average retiree, that translates to about $56 more per month. It might not sound like a fortune, but when you're on a fixed income and prices keep climbing, that extra money can mean the difference between making it through the month comfortably or scrambling to cover basic expenses. Here's what most people don't understand about how these increases actually get applied to your account. The money only shows up on time if your information in the Social Security system is completely accurate. And when they say accurate, they mean exact. Right down to every digit of your bank account number and every letter of your current address. Each fall, the Social Security Administration carries out a large-scale verification processes across more than 71 million active accounts. They review everything, from addresses and direct deposit details to your past earnings history. If even a small detail doesn't line up, like moving to a new address you forgot to report or changing bank accounts without updating your information, your file gets automatically flagged in their system. Once that happens, your payment doesn't process automatically anymore. Instead, it goes into manual review, and that's when delays start piling up. The people who end up waiting weeks for payments that should have arrived on the 3rd of the month are usually dealing with one small piece of outdated information sitting in their profile. It's not that they did anything wrong, it's just that the system can't process updates automatically when the data doesn't line up. During the busiest time of year, when staff members are taking holiday time off and offices are running with reduced crews, that review queue gets longer and longer. Files that should take a day or two to verify end up sitting there for weeks. What actually happens behind the scenes is more complicated than most people realize. Once the administration confirms the adjustment percentage, their computers start running batch updates. They process accounts in groups based on the last 2 digits of your Social Security number. If your number ends in certain digits, your update might not even begin processing until mid-January. Here's where it gets tricky. If your information hasn't been verified before these verification cycles begin, the system can't automatically apply your benefit increase. Instead, your file is marked for manual verification, which basically means a person has to review your account in detail to figure out why the information doesn't match their records. When your account gets flagged for review, you don't just lose a few days, you can lose entire weeks. And during that whole time, you're still receiving your old payment amount. The system won't apply the increase until your file clears verification. Eventually, you will receive the difference, but that back pay can sometimes take until March or even April to appear. For those relying on Social Security as their main source of income, waiting 3 months for money that should have been available from the start isn't just frustrating, it can create a serious financial strain. Think about what happens when your bank information doesn't match what's in their system. Say you closed an old account and opened a new one earlier this year. That's a perfectly normal thing to do. But if you never updated it in your Social Security profile, there's going to be a problem. When the system tries to send your new benefit amount to that old account, the payment bounces back. Your file gets flagged immediately, and then you start getting notices in the mail about payment issues, even though you never received a cent. Untangling that mess takes phone calls, paperwork, and sometimes even trips to your local office. All of that delays your next payment. It's a domino effect that starts with something as simple as forgetting to log in and update one piece of information. Here's another piece most people never think about. The administration doesn't just check your direct deposit details. They also verify your earnings record from your working years. If there's a discrepancy there, maybe a year where your income wasn't reported correctly or a job that didn't show up in the system, that can affect how they calculate your benefit increases going forward. The system bases everything on what's already in your file. If those numbers are wrong and you discover it years later, Fixing it becomes this long, frustrating process that involves digging up old tax returns and pay stubs you might not even have anymore. Now let's talk about what you can actually do to avoid all of this. The first step is straightforward. Sign into your Social Security account and make sure all your information is up to date and accurate. Verify your mailing address, direct deposit details, and earnings record. Even a small typo or an old routing number can hold up your benefit adjustment for weeks. After you've confirmed everything's correct, turn on your notification settings. Inside your account, there's a section for message preferences. Activate both email and text alerts. That one setting acts like an early warning system. You'll get pinged anytime your account changes or when a new notice gets posted. Most people never activate these alerts, and that's exactly why they find out about problems months late or after something's already gone wrong. While you're in your account, download your benefit verification letter. This is an official document that shows your income and benefit details, and it's surprisingly useful. Landlords, lenders, and even some medical offices ask for it. Keeping a copy saved, whether digital or printed, means you won't have to scramble to find it later when you actually need it. Also, check your payment history page. That section quietly shows you if anything's been delayed, adjusted, or held back. One quick look every few months is enough to catch mistakes before they affect your finances. There's another important update on the horizon. The Social Security Administration is rolling out a new two-factor verification system for account access. While it's intended to improve security, which sounds reassuring, it could become a real hurdle for anyone who isn't tech-savvy or doesn't rely on their phone for daily tasks. Once this system is fully in place, you'll need a verified phone number or email to log in. If your contact information is outdated or incorrect, you could find yourself locked out just when you need to access your account. Make sure both your phone number and email address are current in the system now before this new security layer goes into effect. What you're really doing when you take the time to verify all this information is building a safety net around your benefits. You're making sure no typo, no processing delay, and no system update can quietly eat away at what you've earned over decades of work. This isn't about being paranoid. It's about maintaining control over your own money and making sure it ends up where it belongs, with you. Those who take a few minutes each year to keep their information up to date are the ones who never get blindsided by system changes or new policies. They're the ones whose payments arrive on time, every time, and for the full amount they're entitled to. Taking action now ensures you won't be one of the people scrambling and calling in a panic next January, trying to figure out what went wrong.